Now I am going to discuss about one of the important laws in electrostatics. It is called Gauss's law or Gauss's theorem. Carl Friedrich Gauss, he was a German mathematician. He derived the relation connecting electric flux and the total charge. What is electric flux? Total number of lines of force passing through an area. ഒരു ഏരിയയിൽ കൂടി കടന്നു വരുന്ന ഇലക്ട്രിക് ലൈൻസ് ഓഫ് ഫോഴ്സിന്റെ എണ്ണവും ആ ചാർജിന്റെ മാഗ്നിറ്റ്യൂഡിന് ആനുപാതികമായിരിക്കും എന്ന് നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചു. അപ്പൊ അതിനെ രണ്ടിനെയും കൂടെ ബന്ധിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ലോയാണ് ഗോസസ് ലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഗോസസ് തിയറം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ദിസ് തിയറം ഈസ് സിംപ്ലി an application of the concept of electric flux. Now let us define Gauss's law. Gauss's theorem states that the total normal electric flux over a closed surface in free space is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the net charge enclosed by the surface. Mathematically, it can be written as electric flux, which is represented by the letter phi E. Phi E equals 1 by epsilon 0 times the net charge. It is represented by sigma Q. This is the mathematical expression of Gauss's theorem. ഈ ഇക്വേഷനെ നോക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് ഗോസസ് തിയറം സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വളരെ എളുപ്പമാണ്. ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫ്ലക്സ് ഓവർ എ ക്ലോസ്ഡ് സർഫസ്. സർഫസ് എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കണം? ക്ലോസ്ഡ് ആയിരിക്കണം. എവിടെ വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു? ഫ്രീ സ്പേസ്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഫ്രീ സ്പേസിന്റെ കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ആയ പെർമിറ്റിവിറ്റി എപ്സിലോൺ 0 വന്നത്. ഇൻഡു ആരാണ്? അത് എൻക്ലോസ് ചെയ്ത ടോട്ടൽ ചാർജ്. അപ്പം ടോട്ടൽ ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫ്ലക്സ് ഓവർ എ ക്ലോസ്ഡ് സർഫസ് ഇൻ ഫ്രീ സ്പേസ് ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു 1 by epsilon 0 times the net charge. If it is placed in a medium, instead of epsilon 0 we can write epsilon. We know that epsilon equals epsilon 0 epsilon r. Also we have studied electric flux phi E equals surface integral of E and S, E dot ds. Therefore this theorem can be rewritten as electric flux equals surface integral of E dot ds is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times net charge. So Gauss's theorem also can be restated as the surface integral of electric field over a closed surface in free space is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the net charge. This is the statement and the mathematical representation. ഇത് മാത്രമായാലും എഴുതിയാൽ മതി. Now let us prove this theorem. Proof. Consider a point charge Q which is placed at O in air. Point charge Q placed at O. In order to apply Gauss's theorem, the surface should be a closed one, or we can imagine a closed surface in which the Gauss's theorem is valid and it is nothing but Gaussian surface. So let us consider a point P which is at a distance R. We have to construct a Gaussian surface around O with P as one of the point. Let it be a spherical surface. Consider a Gaussian surface of radius R with P as one of the point. Now, what is the electric field at P due to the charge Q at O? We know that E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by R square. electric field due to a point charge. Electric field intensity means it is the force experienced on a unit positive charge. This is positive, Q is positive, and here also we are placing a unit positive charge. Therefore, the direction of E is outwards. Or generally we can say that the direction of E is radially outwards. Now, this surface is a Gaussian surface. In order to apply Gauss's theorem, we have to consider a small area ds around P. Therefore, ds is along the direction of the E. Therefore, the flux through ds is equal to, since the area is small, the flux through that area is also small. Therefore, d phi equals E dot ds. E dot ds. Now we have to calculate the total flux over the Gaussian surface. ചെറിയ ഫ്ലക്സ് അറിയാമെങ്കിൽ ടോട്ടൽ ഫ്ലക്സ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനായിട്ട് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സിൽ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന പരിപാടിയാണ് ഇന്റഗ്രേഷൻ. Therefore, the total flux over the Gaussian surface is equal to phi equals integral d phi, which is equal to integral E dot ds. E is constant over the Gaussian surface. R അകലത്തിൽ ഇവിടെ സെയിം, ഏത് പോയിന്റ് R അകലത്തിൽ എടുത്താലും 1/4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square. So we can take it out. E into surface integral of ds. Surface integral of ds means the total surface area of the Gaussian surface. Since it is a sphere, it is nothing but 4 pi r square. So let us substitute E into 4 pi r square. Phi equals, on substituting the value of E here, phi equals 1/4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by r square into 4 pi r square. 4 pi get cancelled, r square get cancelled. The equation becomes phi equals 1/epsilon 0 times q. Hence the proof of the Gauss's theorem. This is the proof of the Gauss's theorem. Certain points are to be noted from the Gauss's theorem then. Certain points. ഒന്നാമത്തെ പോയിന്റ് ആയിട്ട് പറയുന്നത്, if q equals 0, phi equals 0. That means if the Gaussian surface does not encloses any charge, the flux through it is also equal to 0. അറിയാവുന്ന കാര്യം തന്നെയാണ്. രണ്ടാമത്തത്, here we are considering a closed surface. That surface is called a Gaussian surface. It should not have any definite size or shape. Gaussian surface may be of any size or shape. That is another Gaussian surface. G surface is independent of the size or shape. Gaussian surface. Third point, here the direction of the electric field is radially outwards. Here also it is in this direction, radially outwards. That means radially outwards. Electric flux emerging through a point charge, if it is plus q, it is radially outwards, and if it is negative charge, it is inwards. It is inwards. Then, as I told you, another point, the flux through the surface is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charges. Magnitude of the charges. If q value increases, the flux also increases. These are the points to be noted in the case of Gauss's theorem. Gauss's theorem ഇലക്ട്രോസ്റ്റാറ്റിക്സിൽ ധാരാളം ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഏകദേശം 5 ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനോളം നമുക്ക് പഠിക്കേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിലെ ഒരു ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ കൂടി നമുക്ക് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം. ഗോസസ് തിയറം ഉപയോഗിച്ച് എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു ഇൻഫൈനൈറ്റ് ലോങ് സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് കണ്ടക്ടറിന്റെ ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഇന്റൻസിറ്റി കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്ന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാം. application ആണ് ഒന്നാമത്തെ application. Electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight conductor. Infinitely long straight conductor. First of all, we have to define about the long straight conductor. We have studied about the electric field intensity due to a point charge. Point charge മുഖേന P എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പോയിന്റിൽ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡിന്റെ വാല്യൂ E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by r square. Also we studied the electric field intensity due to a dipole. If the point is on the axial line and if for a short dipole it is E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p by r cube. For a short dipole and the point is on the equatorial line, it is nothing but E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 p by r cube. Now we are going to calculate the electric field due to a continuous distribution of charges. അതിന് ഉദാഹരണമായിട്ട് ധാരാളമുണ്ട്. അതിൽ ഒന്നാമത്തേതായിട്ടാണ് എടുക്കുന്നത് ഒരു ഇൻഫിനിറ്റ്ലി ലോങ് സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് വയർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് കണ്ടക്ടർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ റോഡ് മുഖേന ഒരു പോയിന്റിൽ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഇന്റൻസിറ്റി എത്രയാണെന്നുള്ളത്. ഫോർ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ആം കൺസിഡറിംഗ് an infinitely long straight conductor XY. Of uniform charge density lambda. Positive charge ആണ് കൊടുത്തേക്കുന്ന യൂണിഫോം ചാർജ് ഡെൻസിറ്റി ലാംഡ. ഇത് മുഖേന P എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പോയിന്റിൽ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഇന്റൻസിറ്റി ആണ് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഫോർ ദാറ്റ് വി ആർ defining P is a point which is at a perpendicular distance r from XY. We are calculating this electric field by using Gauss's theorem. So we have to consider or construct a Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface can be of any shape. Now let us consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface of length L and radius R. Cylindrical Gaussian surface of length L and radius R. So this is a Gaussian surface of length L and radius R. By looking into the figure, it is clear that the flux through the two end faces is equal to 0. How? Flux through two end faces is equal to 0. This is one phase. Since we know that electric field is along the radius, E is along the radius. ഈയുടെ ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഇങ്ങോട്ടാണ് and the area vector ds corresponding to upwards here. Therefore theta equals 90 here. Here also it is 90. Flux E into E dot ds or E ds cos 90 equals 0. Here also E into ds cos 90 equals 0. Therefore, the total flux over the two end faces of the Gaussian surface is equal to 0. Therefore, the remaining flux over the Gaussian surface is only along the curved surface. A curved surface il koodi maatrame flux varuthullu. If this is considered to be a cylinder, the flux electric field is along this direction and area vector is in this direction. Therefore, the flux through this surface is 0. Similarly, the flux through this surface is also 0. So, this is only the remaining the remaining flux is only along this region. Therefore, in order to calculate the electric flux over the curved region, let us imagine a small area ds around P, and it is along the direction of E. Therefore, the flux through ds is equal to ds is d phi, which is equal to E dot ds. Therefore, the flux through the total Gaussian surface, P is the point here, and therefore we are considering ds here. P is here, therefore we are considering ds here. D phi equals E dot ds. Therefore, the total flux over the Gaussian surface, total flux through Gaussian surface, phi equals integral E dot ds is equal to E into integral ds, total surface area of the curved surface. ഒരു സിലിണ്ടറിന്റെ curved surface le total surface area എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഒരു rectangular shape എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ into total base area കൂടെ വരുമ്പോൾ എത്ര വരും? 2 pi RL. This is equation number 1. Here we are applying Gauss's theorem. According to Gauss's theorem, phi equals 1 by, according to Gauss's theorem, as per Gauss's theorem, phi equals 1 by epsilon 0 times q, the net charge, equation 2. From 1 and 2, the LHS are equal, so we can equate the RHS. Therefore, E into 2 pi RL equals 1 by epsilon 0 times q. E equals 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 q divided by RL. The surface charge density lambda equals Q divided by L. Therefore, the charge Q equals lambda L. Therefore, we substitute here 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda L divided by RL. Thus, the equation becomes E equals E equals 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda by R. This is the equation for electric field intensity at P due to an infinite long straight conductor. When we multiply and divide by 2, the equation becomes 2 on the multiply again, divide again cheyidal, the equation becomes E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, 2 into 2, 4 pi epsilon 0 equals 2 lambda by R. This is the expression for the electric field intensity at P due to infinitely long straight rod or wire. In vector form, it can be written as E equals 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2 lambda by R into n cap, or E equals, if you are using this equation, 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda by R n cap, where n cap is a unit normal vector normal to the infinitely long straight conductor. Normal to the infinitely long straight conductor. Vector form it is written as. That means it is perpendicular to the direction of the electric field is perpendicular to the conductor or infinitely long straight wire. Here it is clear that E is inversely proportional to R. That means as the value of R increases, E value decreases. E value decreases. If we plot a graph between E and R, the nature of the graph equals E versus R. If we plot a graph between E and R, since E is inversely proportional to R, it can be like this. E is inversely proportional to R. That means the shape is a rectangular hyperbola. Shape of the graph is rectangular hyperbola. Here also I told you the direction is perpendicular to the conductor, and it is perpendicular and it is radially outwards or outwards in this case, because the charges on the conductor is positive charge, or we can generalize it as the direction of the electric field is outwards if the charge on the conductor is positive, and it is inwards if the charge on the conductor is negative. So this is the expression for the electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight wire or rod or conductor. Okay, thank you.